Welcome to A.U.M. Ask Us Marketing. I'm your host, Callie Fedosinko of Callie Collective. We are a digital marketing agency designed to build relationships between financial advisors and their target audience through data-driven content, websites, and advertising, which you can learn more about us at the QR code. This episode is brought to you by the Financial Planning Association, otherwise known as the FPA. The FPA has a lot of great resources that provide education, support, and networking opportunities for financial advisors like you. And if you've been following, you know that they have a conference coming up this September where you can meet me in real life in the vendor hall. We will have our Kevin Bacon piggies like this. They still need their glasses. And I just want you to see how hard it is to get a quality Kevin Bacon pig. This is one that did not turn out because, yes, I hand make these. Look at that. It looks like a melted candle. So make sure you come by, sign up as a Savvy Advisor, and get your Kevin Bacon. Your very own Kevin Bacon, I should say. Today, we were going to be talking about book publishing and how it builds credibility with none other than Steve Gordon. However, he has been affected by the hurricane and he does not have power. So you're stuck with me today. And unfortunately, I am not a book guru professional publisher. So we're not going to talk about how to publish your book. But what we are going to talk about is how to promote your book. So, as always, you can ask your questions in the comments and I'll get them on my end. Even more important to ask questions today because it's just me and it's going to get a little boring just hearing my voice for 30 minutes. All right, so let's talk about it. A book. Speaking of books, I'll have them at the FPA booth at the conference. So make sure you come by the booth and get yours. All right, I'm going to share my screen here because I want to talk about the client journey. Now, give me a moment to share. Okay, here we go. This is the client journey, which is different from a sales funnel. This is a sales funnel. Sales funnel, you've got the 4 phases: brand awareness, generate leads, nurture leads, and convert leads. The client journey is a bit different. We're looking at it from client's point of view, right? They start as prospects, they become a client, and hopefully they become an advocate. This, I feel like, is very underutilized with advisors in marketing. So first, we've got the prospect interest, then contact with prospect. These are the 2 where the sales funnel comes into play. Then we've got the prospect signs on as a client. Then after they're a client, their experience, and then loyalty, bringing on new assets, and referring you. So how can we include a book in each of these phases? Step 1, prospect interest. Books are going to build your credibility because you are the expert on the topic that you're writing about, or at least you pretend to be. This, like I said, is going to build your credibility. If you're also selling your book, it could help you get found, but it's, my opinion, is going to be more of a tool that's used after a prospect finds you in getting that know, trust, like. This is going to be the trust aspect. Hey, I've got this book. I know what I'm talking about. You can even learn some of what I believe. Next is going to be the contact with your prospect. What happens when a prospect is interested in your services? This is where you've generated a lead and you're in contact with them. Maybe they've even scheduled a call with you. This is a great place to include your book in your emails with the prospect. bringing up, hey, we saw that you liked our social post on Roth conversions. Well, did you know that I've written this book and I talk specifically about Roth conversions on pages 15 through 17? I'd love to send you a copy if that would be interesting to you. So immediately, you've mentioned the thing that they are interested in, and now you're following it up with how you are credible and the expert in this topic. After the prospect signs on as a client, another way to bring in books, giving them a book, obviously. Client experience. I would think that books are going to be more helpful for prospects, but they are still vital with clients in the fact that you can be saying, well, let me back up. Everybody wants to be on the winning team. Nobody wants to be the loser. So if you're an advisor and you've written a book, sharing that with your clients, they're going to feel like they're on the winning team. Oh, my advisor wrote a book. My advisor knows about this topic. It's going to be a great way, again, to build that credibility and give them an opportunity to share you with their friends and family, which also leads into client loyalty, new assets, and referrals. You may even want to be giving them 2 books, one for them, one to share. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about how you would actually implement, not just big picture, hey, this is going to build credibility with a prospect. And unfortunately, I don't have a ton of examples because this is a last minute monologue. So for starters, in your accounts, and when I say in your accounts, and this is not criticism if you have a book and are not doing this, because I have a book and I'm not doing this, but I will after today. But having your book on Google, on your Google business accounts, you could have it as actually, I will pull up a Google business just so you know the areas that I'm talking about. Okay. All right, let me find my screen here to share. Replace screen sharing. There we go. All right. It's really small on my end. Hopefully you can see a little bit more here. In your Google business account, so if somebody were to search and you were to pop up over here on the right-hand side, this is what is shown as your Google business. Ignore this here because this is, I'm the business owner and these are all my options. So over here on the right-hand side, what we've seen is that Google business is another item that is severely underutilized. However, I think a lot of that goes back to compliance, and compliance hasn't allowed many advisors to claim their business listing. Okay, so now that that has changed throughout the years, I definitely recommend claiming your business listing and then adding in every section that you can information. In here, you can also have your services right here, edit services. You could include your book here. You'll see I have a lot listed. This listing, it helps you with your SEO. You could also add in the images, a picture of your book. Hey, I've written this book. Well, you wouldn't say that, but here's a book that I've written. And it would have the picture of it. Maybe it's you holding it, and you can link back to it. I'm looking to see if there's anywhere else you could put. There's also down here at the bottom, you can add updates to your Google business profile, which we do for ours. The same things that we're posting on social media, we're also posting on our Google business listing. This is going to keep you up higher in the searches. So this is also another place that you could be adding your book in your accounts. There's also LinkedIn. You can have, I can't think of the word. It's like key features or pinned items. You can pin your post. So if you've posted about your book, you can pin it to the top of your profile. In fact, I'll also show you that. This is a relatively new feature, so not everybody has been using it. Well, we're going to get Inception here because I'm live. So this should be interesting. Okay. Here, featured items. You can, if you click this plus button, you can add a post, a newsletter, article, link, pictures, presentations, or documents. Everything that I've added as a link, and then I've added a picture that coordinates with the link. That way I know that you can click on it and get to that web page. It also allows, like a header and a description. So this would be a great place to feature your book or books if you have multiple ones. There's obviously, you would want to be posting social media posts about your book. We've had clients in the past who have written a book, and we promote it at least once a month. I know that, it can feel old if you're the one creating the content, but you have to remember that one, your audience is not seeing everything you post. Like, they're not logging in every day. And two, they're not going to see, even if they were logging in every day, they're not going to see everything. They're only going to see, I think it's like 1% of your followers actually see your posts. So keep that in mind. It's okay to repeat yourself. When we were posting once a month about the book, it doesn't always have to be, I've written this book in a link back. You can pull a quote from your book. In fact, I would recommend pulling a quote because that would spark interest in somebody and they want to read more. It's a little teaser. Facebook is very similar to LinkedIn. Instagram, you can also feature things at the top, so you could feature your book. Twitter, I am not a fan of Twitter. We have one just because we are a marketing agency. However, I don't think it fits most financial planners because it's a very reactive platform, and financial planning is a very proactive business. Okay, so we've talked about where to feature items in your accounts. Another great place that you could be sharing that you've written a book is in your email signature. Now, currently, my email signature is a little crowded. There's not room really for me to add a book in here, but I do have some other links that would give you a great idea of how you could add in a book to your email signature. Here we go. I also always recommend adding in a headshot in your email signature because it brings in that personalization. And as we've discussed before on A.U.M, prospects and clients want to know the person behind the numbers. Okay, so, normal business information. We've got our cute little GIF or GIF. And then down here, we advertise our live stream. But if you're not doing a live stream, a book, that would be a great place to highlight your book. Author of The Financial Advisor's Digital Marketing Manual. Just saying that, you can see how it gives that credibility behind you. Some other places to feature your book. Your website, obviously, that's a no-brainer. You should definitely have it there. Including it in your prospect emails, not just in the email signature, as I've just shown you. Let me go back to our client journey. Not just in your email signature, but actually in the emails. So I'm going to assume that most of your prospects are interested. I mean, there's some interest and they're searching and trying to find out more about you before they schedule a call to talk about a discovery or scheduling that first meeting. So in between that phase of, I think I might want to work with this person and I'm going to schedule a meeting with them. Between those two, there's a lot of searching and hopefully communication between you and them. I know that advisors, like me working with advisors, there's a very long sales cycle. There will be people that I talk to that won't move forward for a year or more. It's going to be very similar for advisors and their clients, unless somebody is in a place where they're hot prospects saying, I need to work with someone, I need to find someone. Then if they're not in that place, then you want to be in front of them. So when they get to that place, you're the first person that they think of. That to me is marketing and where I come in and I help advisors. I help your target audience think of you first when they get to the place where they want an advisor. So in between, as I was getting to the book, got sidetracked there, in that phase, that is a great place to be communicating with them and including your book in your emails. The emails that you may be sending, maybe you have some sort of gated content. It might even be your book. Hey, do you want a copy of our book? Put your email address in and we will email it to you. Obviously, you'd be including the book there. Maybe you have a some other piece of gated content. I was talking about Roth conversions. Maybe you have a checklist for Roth conversions. These are the things that you need to have if you want to convert your Roth. If that's the case, and they're putting their email in, then in the sequence of emails that you are sending them, you want to make sure that you're talking about the fact that you have a book and you'd be happy to send them a copy. What is their mailing address? Hopefully this is sparking some ideas for you on how you can use your book to build credibility with your audience, your prospects. And now let's talk a little bit about the clients. We talked high level before. Some examples would be having a book launch party and inviting your clients. Mailing out your book to each of your clients. Giving it to them at the end of your meetings with them. Those are the only ones I can think of right now. But those would be great ways to build upon the relationship you already have with your clients. Also, in giving your book to new clients, maybe after they've just signed with you. And you're giving them a welcome packet, I hope, of, hey, welcome to our client family. Here's what you can expect. I'm also including our book if you want to learn more about what we believe. So here are lots of examples. And we're about 20 minutes in. So I'm going to open it up for questions. And if you have any, pop them in there. As I wait to see, what can I tell you about? Oh, here's a fun fact. I was just in Florida right before the storm hit that is apparently affecting our guest who is supposed to be here today. So that's pretty ironic. I left one day before it hit. I would be curious to know how many of you have written a book and how many of you are considering writing a book. So if you're watching the recording of this or listening on our podcast, you can leave a comment and preferably tag me at Callie, Kalli, Fedusenko, Fedusenko. And let me know if you've written a book or if you're considering writing a book. I have definitely noticed an increase in the number of advisors who are writing books. And I'd just like to know if it just happens to be the people that I've run into, or if this is a advisor-wide interest in book writing. So let us know. And we have not received any questions, and it's been a full 2 minutes. So we're going to end early today. So I've already mentioned my book, which you can get if you sign up as a Savvy advisor. Don't have a QR code for it, but I do have a QR code for our marketing quiz. What is the score of your marketing? Is it savvy or is it sorry? You can find out with this quiz. Just scan that QR code. And then join us next week, as long as there aren't any other storms and our guest can't join us. But we'll have a different guest, Nicole Kramer. She lives in the same area as me, and she's just a delight to be around. And she is a sales expert. In fact, her business is called What Exactly to Say. So if you've ever gotten in a meeting with a prospect and you're like, I have no idea what to say right now to get them to become a client, then you need to join us next Monday at noon Central. Until then, have a great week.